What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. Today we're gonna do a comparison between the two Thors that is available at the market currently, between Love and Thunder Thor and Endgame Thor. Endgame is always on sale, while Love and Thunder just came out maybe a few months ago. But we're gonna dive in. If you don't have any Thor yet, does it make sense to own one or both? We're gonna take a look at a deep dive, and we're gonna start off with the accessories. As always, we're gonna start off with the hand, and the one on the left is gonna be the Love and Thunder Thor, one on the right, Endgame. And as you can see, the variations of hands are pretty much similar. It's just that on Endgame they have an extra gripping hand for Mjolnir, and as you can see here, this is like the generic hands of Hot Toys. I mean, you can see this from Superman, Man of Steel, Neo, and all that. This is kind of like their generic gesture hands. While on the Love and Thunder, it kind of is similar, but he does have that little, I don't know, glove area in his hand, and he does have an extra hand that is more of a gesture hand, so to speak. But in this hands area, I think I like the Love and Thunder more. Now, with as far as effects, they both come in with this Stormbreaker effect, which you could put. Both Stormbreakers are pretty much the same, outside of few color differences between the handles. I think it's a bit darker on the Love and Thunder one, or shinier, so to speak. But overall, I would say they're the same mold, same lighting effects and all that stuff, and also same annoying heavy, because those effects are heavy. The one that you insert in them, the lightning effects, they both do light up, as you can see here. The Endgame is not as bright because the battery is old, but the Love and Thunder, as you can see. But I'm pretty sure if I change the battery, you're gonna get similar effects. But overall, both of them pretty similar when it comes to Stormbreaker, the effects that it comes with, and how heavy it would be once you put in those effects. Speaking of lightning effects, so this is this is for the Infinity War Thor. But as you can see here, they're Infinity War and Endgame are pretty much the same anyway. The Love and Thunder has a little bit of white in them, like it's a bit more, I would say there's a whitewash more. And this is the one that you insert for Infinity War, not Endgame, because I gave the Endgame when I traded it away. Now, the difference between this and the Love and Thunder, especially on the top part, I don't know if you can, if it focuses, it goes over his shoulder. And I like it a bit more because it doesn't have that, it's basically just translucent all over. This compared to Endgame and Infinity War, where they do have like a white transparent thing, but, and as you can see, I love this effect, by the way, the paint effects that they do, because you can light them up without using any power, battery, or anything like that. You just need, the flashlight. And in here, you do have, so these are the extra effects. You got this thunder, or yeah, from that he got from Russell Crowe's character, Zeus. You can separate them and you see those lightning effects as well, like electricity running through it. But I would still pick Mjolnir over that. So Endgame comes with Mjolnir that also does light up. It's not die cast, but it does light up. So if you make me choose between the two, obviously Mjolnir is gonna get my vote, because look at that is beautiful when lit up. And you do have all those, and then you can put this effects as well if you want to, which is really nice. There you go. I gotta stop using this camera for close-up because it is not focusing, but there you go. And as you can see there, it looks pretty good when you do have it just as such. The handles itself is nice, but you could also get this if you get Mighty Thor, but kind of damaged though, so in that case, if you want the actual Mjolnir, you have to go with that. And as far as the base, they both come in this hexagonal base. It depends on which line you are, into. I am preferably more on Endgame. I hate the fact that they both just come with the dynamic pole. I wish they would have come with the crotch grabber, but that's just me. But one thing that is significantly better for Love and Thunder is the inclusion of this deluxe set. Now, if you won't get this if you didn't get the deluxe version, but it drastically changes the look of your figure, especially when you pop in the head sculpt, the arms, the extra armor piece. They look amazing, and then this one lights up as well. Although it comes at a cost, I would gladly pay any cost for any figure if they come in that could change, that could alter the look in your display. And speaking of display, we're going to take a look at the tailoring for both. So both come in two different outfits. So the one on the left, obviously, Love and Thunder, very colorful. It pops on your shelf, while the Endgame version is basically the same one as Infinity War. You got the dark tone, more serious tone. However, as you can see here, it's more of a specialized suit for Thor, like a one-off or two-off. And obviously, Thor's body type is so much different than Love and Thunder Thor, where even the cape itself, it's beautiful on both. You don't really need any custom cape for this. You don't want to pay $50 to spend on cape. But these guys it's good enough for me. I mean, it's beautiful. I don't know what else do you want from Love and Thunder. It has wires that you could pose freely, and I think the fabric that they used is beautiful. Same goes with Endgame Thor, which just drapes, I think, nicely on him. Could you change it? Sure. I mean, I don't really recommend it, but and now we're gonna go into the head sculpt. One of the strongest suit for, I would say, Love and Thunder is this beautiful head sculpt. As you can see right off the bat, it has a lot of texture in it. It feels like a head sculpt from 2024. And it's magnetized, so you can easily move it around. The eyes, I wish it would have had the rolling eyeball system, but it doesn't. Endgame Thor is no joke. It also has a very strong head sculpt. The hair sculpt on both is fantastic. With Love and Thunder, you do get a whole lot of different strands falling in his face. They're both equally beautiful. That's Endgame right there. You got the scar on his eye. You got the Viking look on his beard. I don't like how the mustache kind of works, though. That is something that I never really liked, even on Captain America Infinity War. But as you can see, they both have this option for the luminous eyes. The Love and Thunder is so much brighter, though, as you can see there. And then they can't focus at the same time, but you kind of have an idea there. It has the combination of white and blue, while Infinity War is more like, bluish. I just like the harder tones, like the hard whites on the Love and Thunder one, because it gives him that just God of Thunder look. And look at those pores and those lines in his face. And I just like how his overall beard is sculpted. The beard is nice, but the stash, once you go up close, it's not, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. It works still, but I would have preferred this sculpt so much better than the Endgame version. Now, this is how you could display them. They're both kind of, as you can see, I'm also like doing the light effects on his on Love and Thunder, and also on Mjolnir out there. This is kind of how they would look like. They look awesome, all together at the same time with all their weapons. But the difference is that if you get the Thor, you could change his look if you did get the deluxe version, which now he's sleeved. The difference is he's so much more colorful than Endgame. And he does have the helmet version. It's not, you could remove, by the way, that effects on his eyes if that's bothering you. But hey, it's depending on your display and who are you going to display him with. I would say it would matter who would you get between the two. Now, speaking of which, these are the Endgame display options. So you got him with Cap and Mark 85 battle damage. Obviously, it looks great. He is supposed to be there, and this is the Trinity that everyone was asking back in 2020, when they have their displays. Now they're all on sale, but they look beautiful together, of course. Now, how would Love and Thunder work into that? I mean, it's okay. He's a bit colorful for the lineup, but if you can only have one Thor and you chose this, I mean, I don't think it looks too bad. But we know Endgame, they got Bro Thor in there. So if your display is towards Endgame, obviously you gotta lean towards the Endgame, the Bro Thor. But what if your display is just the Avengers, the regular Avengers? Where I think this is where this Thor would come in. The Avengers Thor from the first one is old. It didn't stand the test of time. It still works, but comparing it to Thor that we do have now, to this guy, that would look completely, like it would look an older figure, which it is. Now you got Mark 7 and 2012 Cap. Now if you put in the Endgame Thor, it's a bit off. He's a bit bigger. I mean, he's still Thor, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't give you that vibe, that Thor vibe, where you get that from Love and Thunder. Regardless if he was with the Endgame, you still know it's Thor. I mean, you still know this is Thor, but it just doesn't fit well, in my opinion. That's why I would make my final thoughts on this. My final argument is that if you could, and I know this is a cop-out, if you can swing both, go ahead and do so, because I think they both complement each other. Two different Thors, two different looks. This is not a case of a repaint. Body is different, the accessories are different, head sculpt is different, so you can make a clear case and argument that it is not a bad idea to own both. Again, I know it's a cop-out, but the hard decision is that what if you already have one or the other? I mean, it really is up to you. As of now, if you make me choose, if I don't have a Thor and I can only afford one, I would go Love and Thunder, because that encompasses, in my opinion, Thor. Now, if you hate the movie, absolutely hate the movie, it's still a good figure, but if you absolutely hate it, then don't get it. Get the Endgame and hope that maybe one day they'll do an art. You never know. They did Artisan Black Widow, so they might do an Artisan Thor in the future, in the near future. That would be a year away, maybe. Which Thor is it? I hope it's either Dark World, you get interchangeable arms, or the Avengers Thor. I wouldn't be mad at any of those, but hopefully we do get that. I think that would be the Thor to have, but as of now, as of the release of this video, we only have two Thors, and I'll put it this way: if there's an artisan version of Thor that comes out, your Endgame Thor would not be obsolete, because Endgame will never be obsolete, unless they obviously comes out with an artisan Bro Thor. But so the safe bet here is to get Endgame. The one for now, the best Thor for now, would be the Love and Thunder. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.